Hi guys, thanks for joining us for this quick update as far as that all important, rather the emergency meeting of the Asian Cricket Council that took place in Bahrain. Remember, there was the BCCI Secretary Jay Shah, who's also the ACC President, and the other stakeholders as well. Most importantly, Najam Sethi, who is the PCB chief as well. He too was there. Now, what happened at the meeting? We are here to tell you at this emergency meeting that was being called at the request of the Pakistan Cricket Board, and a certain decision has been made with regards to Pakistan's hosting rights for 2023's the Asia Cup, which is, remember, gonna happen in the 50 over format later in the year. But there is a tussle of sorts going on between the BCCI and the PCB. The BCCI earlier very clearly saying that under no circumstance will the Indian team be travelling to Pakistan for the Asia Cup, and the venue be shifted to a neutral place. It could be Sri Lanka, it could be the UAE, it could be Afghanistan, whatever. There are plenty of stakeholders who threw their hat in the ring, and over the next couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about what exactly happened in the meeting. Now, when did the meeting begin? Well, it started early in the day. There was a long a marathon meeting of sorts that took place. It lasted for about 4 to 5 hours, and at the end of it, after Najam Sethi presented his case, after Jay Shah, who was present, he also made things extremely clear, and there were the other stakeholders as well, the other teams that participate in the Asia Cup, the stakeholders and the office bearers from those boards were also there. Now, after long conversations between the concerned stakeholders, it has now been decided that there won't be any decision as of now. And what sources close to Sports Today are telling at the moment is that there is another meeting that's going to take place in about a month or two, probably in the month of March, is what we are learning, that this next meeting will take place. But also very strong indications coming through sources that in all likelihood the tournament will not be held in Pakistan, and you could be looking at the tournament being hosted by either an Afghanistan or by either the UAE, beg your pardon, or the Sri Lanka, or Sri Lanka as well is emerging as a host. It is being learned through sources that while the discussions were on, the Sri Lankan side also put their hand up, and they said, okay, well, we're also there, and you could look at hosting the tournament in Sri Lanka, because last year when Sri Lanka did have the hosting rights, the tournament had to be shifted to the UAE because of the acute economic situation in Sri Lanka. Remember, the economic situation in Pakistan also at the moment isn't all that bright. There is an election also later in the year, so things looking extremely turbulent because the economy is battered. There is an IMF team visiting over there, and they're looking for an IMF bailout. So things looking extremely bleak in Pakistan as far as the economic situation is concerned. One of that whole situation was also cited as one of the reasons, we're being told through sources, but largely it is of course the political relationships between the two countries, between India and Pakistan, because of which Jay Shah had very clearly stated earlier last year that India will not be traveling to Pakistan come what may, and that's what we're learning through sources as well. First round of talks happening in Bahrain today. It was lengthy conversation that took place between the concerned stakeholders, but India's stand not changing, and very clearly being communicated yet again to Najam Sethi, who was representing Pakistan at this all-important emergency meeting in Bahrain, that listen, we're not going to be coming to Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, are trying extremely hard to keep the hosting rights with themselves, but India have said that we are okay if the tournament is shifted anywhere else. It doesn't matter to us, but we will not be coming to Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, will they do now have time to come up with something new if they possibly can, to ensure that they continue to have the hosting rights and the tournament take place in Pakistan. But it looks highly unlikely, because highly placed sources are telling Sports Today that this is not gonna happen, and Pakistan will not be able to hold the tournament. In all likelihood, it will be shifted to the UAE, just like we saw it happen in the last year's edition as well. Sri Lanka also, viewers, let me tell you, did also chip in. They also said that they also showed some interest, I would say, during the course of the conversation. And we'll have to wait and watch whether it is the UAE or Sri Lanka where the tournament then takes place. A 50-over tournament for all of you joining us right now. Yes, you would say that last year it was 20. Why 50? Well, because that's what we've seen happen over the last couple of years now. That depending on whatever the next ICC tournament is, the tournament takes shape of that. So last year you had the T20 World Cup immediately after the Asia Cup, which is why that was played in the 20-over format. And now you have the 50-over World Cup coming up later, which is, by the way, being hosted in India. Let's not forget. So that's why the Asia Cup tournament for this year's edition will be in the 50-over format. Very quickly though, for all of those joining us right now, the meeting is over, the all-important emergency meeting of the ACC, where concerned stakeholders were there. There was Jay Shah, there was Najam Sethi, there were other stakeholders as well from the other boards. The meeting's now concluded, and what's now been decided is that the decision has been delayed for now. All the stakeholders were given their time to speak and present a case. What sources are telling Sports Today right now is that it will be in the month of March when you will possibly be looking at a decision officially being made and formally being announced, whether it is going to be the UAE where the tournament could now be held, or will it be Sri Lanka. We'll have to wait and watch. So until March, things will remain in this grey area of sorts. But one thing's for sure that's been communicated, and that we're learning from sources, is that the BCCI stand is unchanged, and they continue to say that we will not travel to Pakistan for the Asia Cup 2023, for which, yes, Pakistan do have the hosting rights. There's no denying that. But India's stand and BCCI's stand is extremely clear that no traveling of the sports person, regardless of whatever sport it may be. There's no crossing the borders as far as any sport is concerned. So that's what happened over the last few hours, and that's what emerged. We're awaiting an official announcement as well to come in anytime now, and we'll be tweeting that out. So do watch out for that tweet. We'll try to put out the official statement the moment that we have it. But sources telling us right now that it's been clearly communicated to Pakistan that under no circumstance will the BCCI change its mind, and the Indian players will not be traveling to Pakistan, and you will have to host the tournament somewhere else, and it cannot happen within the borders of Pakistan. We hope you like this update. Do share it with your friends and family members as well, all those who were looking forward to this update. And in case you haven't already done so, do like, share and subscribe to Sports Today. Do press that bell icon as well right on top of your screen, so that you know whenever we're live and whenever we have an update for you. My name is Harshat Ahuja. Thank you so much for watching this video.